Hey MTV, welcome to our crib, our home away from home. We are currently here in Balsam Lake on the Trent Severn Waterway, making our way north to the Georgian Bay from Maryland, and we thought we'd give you a quick boat tour, both inside and outside, and see what we got going on here.
Hi there, welcome to our boat crib. All right, come on in. You're on the swim platform now. And usually we keep it closed when we're underway, but when we pull up to Anchorage, this is where we usually swim from, which is nice. And this is our patio, or the cockpit. And usually when it's nice weather, we sit out here and we eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Below is our lazarette, and that's where we keep our scooters, extra gear, extra fenders. The water maker is down there. We keep all of that in there. But usually we sit out here, we look at our map, and we try to figure out like where we're going to go for the day, what's the plan. Andy looks at the weather, and we figure out like where should we head in. So this is where we live a lot of our life out here, just when it's beautiful weather. So we keep a screen door constantly up because there are a lot of bugs up here, but they're not mosquitoes, which is nice. So it's just like little moths and stuff like that. We were going to have a real screen, but it didn't come in time. And actually this ends up being a blessing in disguise. We love it because it's always shut. And this door almost never closes because we don't really cruise that fast. And it's pretty great. So come on in. This is the main salon, and this is our sofa, but it's also a pull-out sleeper sofa bed. And so sometimes at night when we're watching really good scary movies, we pull it out and make it a bed, and it slides, and it's really nice. This is the galley area, and so this is a propane stove. I usually do a lot of my cooking here, and this is an oven, and it works well, and I also have a microwave. And I keep all my spices here. I keep mostly food and cups and plates and that kind of thing up here. And it's actually really easy. It's actually super nice to cook here because I have a view constantly. So that's nice. So we have this refrigerator here. This is a refrigerator. This is a freezer. And as an overflow, in case we don't have enough room in here, we have another little standalone unit here, which works out really well. It's got extra space. This is a refrigerator. This is a freezer. And so we always have enough food. We're never nearly out of food. You know me. We're never out of food. And with probably one of the best investments we made was, aside from having an extra refrigerator freezer, was this little ice maker. So anytime we can, we're making ice, and she works great. This is where I work from usually. I try on the weekends, try to put it all away so we can sit here and have meals, but this is where I sit, and it's super easy. I have all my laptops out and I work. Only time it gets challenging is when the boat is really rocking and rolling. So it's not too bad, and it's pretty comfy. And I keep some non-skid on here so nothing falls over. And then this is the bridge in-house. And this is where usually when we're transiting between locks, Andy usually stands here because he has quick access to the side. And we try to get into the locks on the starboard side so that he can see what's going on and I can quickly grab lines. And most of the locks in the Trent Severn, you have to have a beam or bow line and a stern line, and they force you to do both, and you have to turn off your engines, which is completely different than the Erie Canal, which you keep your engines on and you only need one line. So a little bit different, but the Canadians have been amazing at helping. Every time you pull in, they're super awesome at helping out. But this is usually where, if it's raining and crappy weather, Andy will drive from here, or if for some reason we need to be like really close to seeing what's going on, he drives from here. And then we've got all sorts of books and charts and stuff like that. We're keeping track of all the locks we've been through, which has been quite a few. 35 in the Trent Severn, 8 in Oswego, and 25 in the Erie. So we've been through a whole bunch of them. Anyway, so this is coming down into our main stateroom, which we like to refer as the Love Shack. This is where we sleep most of the time, unless it's really wavy and there's a lot of noise on the bow and the chimes. If it's crazy, then we'll sleep in the pull-out sleeper sofa in the midship of the boat. But this is where we sleep. Andy has a bunch of storage for his clothes. I've got a bunch of storage here for mine. We keep a lot of hooks up just to make it quick to get, like, you know, stuff to stay warm if you're chilly. But it's insanely comfortable. Like, we both sleep like babies in here, which has been great. And then this is another stateroom, but we've kind of converted it into a storage locker. I keep my clothes here, my air fryer, Instapot, some extra food, and it just makes it super easy to grab whatever you need, just having it there. And then over here is our head, and it's, again, it's been super easy to take showers. It's been super easy to store all of our stuff. We don't have any issues at all. It's been really super simple. So we love it. It's been even underway, I can use it, and it's no problems whatsoever. And then underneath the stairs, if you want to come down, I'll show you. Right underneath the stairs, we keep our washer dryer. So it's a 1-unit combo. It does both. And this is where we wash all of our clothes, and it's actually pretty amazing. It works really, really well. So we don't ever have to really go into a marina, because we can do everything from our boat, from washing clothes, making water, whatever we need, which has been super handy. So,
all right, different day, different location, different part of the tour. So yesterday you got a quick tour of the cockpit and the inside. So let's go upstairs and see what we got. All right, we're on the top of the back of the flybridge. This is a great space for sunning, although we don't do a lot of sun. So we bought an umbrella, and I took some PVC, some hose clamps, and put them in some different places around the railings to be able to move it, and it tilts, which is great. So we have our Starlink standard, and that's running downstairs, that power and internet. We have the Cato Davit system that we added for Lola, and 2 chairs and a little cafe table. And if you want to come around here, we have what is called the summer kitchen. So we have stainless grill, propane, and a little sink, which is fantastic. And then lots of storage under here where we keep grill utensils and extra sort of outdoor items. Okay, good there. Going on in to the flybridge enclosure. This is real life. We did not roll up the windows today because we're not getting underway, and there's like 10 trillion, zillion, bajillion bugs. So we're gonna sweat a little bit, but that's okay. Come on in. So helm chair, first mate chair. We recently added these this spring. Great thing. They swivel. You can join the party. Nothing too fancy up here. On the dash, we got our basic gauges, radar, and my Samsung tablet that I run Navionics and Aqua Maps on a split screen. VHF radio, standard, and then lots of seating around, and a table that folds up on both sides for some hors d'oeuvres or dinner or card game playing, and storage under all of these seats. And I'd say the majority of it's full right now. We got some blow-up seats that go with our blow-up stand-up paddle boards. We've just been using to sit on the bow to watch the sun go down, if that's the direction. Again, in real life, I didn't even put up the flag today because it blocks the view of our anchor light, and we were anchored, so I just kept it down today and last night. And that's pretty much it, the enclosure. One of the things we like about this boat is the covered, protected walkway all around, which has been fabulous for all the locks that we've gone through. Whether you're trying to get out of the sun or the rain, usually one side or the other is protected. If you want to come on up here, we've got our anchor locker and line locker, all sorts of stuff in there, just a chain, some hooks for lines, shore power, and a wash down on this side that we recently added, and then And here is the anchor windlass with the Gypsy in case you need to bring up a line. And right here, this is our snubber. You can see our line in the water, actually. So we use a 60-pound Ultra anchor, which has worked out really well for us, and it still fits in the existing bow roller. And again, we don't normally keep lines out and fenders out, but it's standard procedure going through all the locks and the lakes. You just got to be able to tie up at any given second, pretty much anywhere. All right, this is Lola. I have no idea how she got her name. You want to give me your hand so I'm not floating away? All right. Raquel named her. No idea where it came from. But she's a Highfield 310. We bought her new the other year. Tohatsu 20 horsepower outboard. We wanted white. Minimizes the saltwater stains. Got 2 oars. Typically a seat goes here with the bag, but we got rid of that. And that's just stored upstairs. It's just easier. There's more room without it. And then up forward here is the fuel tank, inflatable life jackets, mantis, anchor, and all the documentation and registration. And she is a fabulous size. These are our bridles. We have one in the front, one in the rear. This is how we lift her. Attachment points for the LED nav lights in case we're running at night. And she's been fabulous for us. All right, 2/3 of the floor are open in the salon. Figured I'd give you guys a quick tour of the engine room. We have twin Yanmar 240 horsepower 4 LHA STP engines. And we have in the lazarette a Kohler 8kW generator, which we can get to later. So again, real life, literally just opened her up. She is full of equipment and storage bins, but in the port stern here, we have 2 8D AGM batteries. Would love to one day get those upgraded to lithium. Behind there is the electrical panel. Got the blower, 3,000 watt inverter, and a Pronautique 50 amp charger, along with spare oil and parts. Kind of see this is where the shaft goes through the hull. ZF transmission, and the engine's honestly not super complicated. Being up here in the weeds, we've had to clear the weeds out of the sea strainers a little bit, and a spring project for me was I replaced these ball valves. So all the floorboards come up. I can clean inside the bilge. She is clean and dry, just like we like it. Moving up forward, again, more bins and tools and spares. But here we have the seawater intake for the air conditioning pump over there. And then above that is the freshwater pump and accumulator. We have 2 Raycor fuel filters. And over here is my freshwater washdown pump, which is selectable between raw water and fresh water. And there's a little check valve over there, along with halon all over the engine compartment. All right, back in the cockpit, got the lazarette hatch open. Figured I'd show you guys this mess down here. So this is where we store 2 Segway scooters. There's one. The other one is there. They're fantastic. They collapse. Hoses, electrical cords, spare buckets in case we need anything. The gloves are for tending the lines and the locks. Over here is the Kohler generator with the sound shield removed to make access much, much easier. Right here is the control panel for the water maker. There's 2 pumps associated with that, the boost pump and the main pump. The boost pump here is connected to the raw water intake, and it boost the water into the filters, and then ultimately makes its way over into the main pump and through those membranes, and out comes fresh water. Kind of see just a bunch of extra stuff. Halon system, there is our oil maker, or not oil maker, oil changer. That thing is fabulous. It does for both engines as well as the generator. It extracts and fills the oil for all three engines. And one of the spring projects was changing out these exhaust hoses all the way to the water, which are there in the back corner. And then 2 fresh water tanks hiding behind there, 1 on each side. And I think that's pretty much it. There's a fuel filter for the generator. And then there's also another one on the generator itself. So I think that's pretty much the tour of the Lazarette. All right, we get some questions regarding power and power management and how we can survive at anchor for so long. So let me go through this really quick. So up top here is the AC distribution panel. Down below it is the DC distribution panel. So they're laid out pretty simply. We have shore power inputs there on the left and either the generator on the right. And to the left side of this panel are all the items that are powered by 220. So that means that we either have to be plugged into shore power or we have to run the generator. The stove is NA because ours is propane. If we want hot water, we got to have the generator running. Same thing with the AC units. We either got to be plugged in or have the generator running, and of course the battery charger. Then this is just a vacant accessory spot. This is the 110 side, and so we have the inverter on right now. Pretty much everything is tied into the inverter, which is great. So all of the outlets in the entire boat, the refrigerator is not, because the refrigerator is powered by 12 volts when it's off. We can run the microwave, and it used to be an old coffee maker in here that we took out, but we've just kept the label. Entertainment system is the stereo and TV that we can see without having to run the generator. Washer and dryer is not tied in to the inverter yet. That's on my list of things to do. We don't have central vac, and of course here's the inverter switch and the water maker main pump also tied into the inverter. So we can do everything from the inverter except wash and dry clothes, and that will change soon. Down here is the 12 volt distribution panel with everything kind of labeled there. We have some NAs. We also have some extra labels just to make things clear. This is also where our Starlink is powered from, 12 volts. All of our 12 volt outlets and plugs and USBs, as well as our water maker boost pump is here. We have solenoid safety switches for all of our propane, which are here, so we have to make sure that those are on before we cook. And yeah, pretty simple. This little Victron Energy battery monitoring system is something that I added before we got underway, because we did not have a state of charge indicator at all. So I wired this up to a smart shunt so I can access this via USB or Bluetooth as well from my phone, and it just displays simple state of charge of the house battery and approximately how many hours remaining of the battery based on current usage. Right now it says 27. How many volts the current battery is, and then the voltage of the start battery. So this can monitor 2 batteries, which is what we have. And then how many amps we're drawing and how many watts of power we are drawing. So pretty simple, but very nice to have. And then here's another safety switch for the solenoid valve for the propane stove.
Hey, thanks for joining us on our tour of our boat, Brizo. She's a 2005 Mainship 400, and we just love her. Happy to show her to you.
Yeah, and if you have any more questions or specific things you want to see, just let us know in the comments and we'll chat with you soon. Take care. Love you guys.
See ya. Hey, thanks for joining us on our tour of our 400.
Yeah, Tony has